everybody, welcome back to my channel. As you can see here, I have a layout of things that we're going to be doing today. Yes, I finally got the GT35 turbos in, and if you look, they are amazing looking. Well, this one is amazing looking. I have one still in the box that I have not opened yet, but I wanted to make sure this turbo is in excellent condition, and I am extremely happy. maXpeedingrods is the company that I had purchased these turbos through, and they got these turbos out to me as quickly as possible, especially with everybody's delivery issues nowadays. So I'm looking forward to definitely installing these. You obviously see to my left, which is your right, my intercooler kit that we're going to be mocking up and installing. I finally got these housings are going to fit on this turbo perfectly. And then we also are going to be installing a few extra items that I had kind of secretly put in place. I did, but you know what? Let me show you guys real quick. So one of the things that I did keep secret for the time being, I did mention that I did pick up a special pulley kit, and ta-da, there we go. Now I purchased this from a company called KMJ Performance. I'll leave their link here for you guys to check them out. And I'll also leave the link down below for you guys to check out their website. But they make what's called, or they sell, I apologize, they sell what's called assault racing products. And this is a 3-piece kit for the crank, water pump, and alternator. And it comes with this thick old belt. And the teeth on them are just incredible. So we are going to be installing that. Now, in order for the water pump pulley to work, because of the 99 Dodge Durango 5.2 liters, they specifically came with a press fit pulley. So you weren't able to actually get it. So what I did was I did a little bit of research. I will leave the part number and a link down below for you all. If you want to definitely purchase something like this, this is something that I'm doing that no one's done on a 99 Dodge Durango ever. So I am the first so far right now who's put this pulley kit on a 99 Dodge Durango 5.2 liter. So, but now I'm able to take my pulley and bolt them up the way I need them to for the pulley system to work. Yeah, guys, we got our turb skis in, our GT35s, they're in, and we've got the complete intercooler kit. If you are new to the channel and I've piqued your interest on the build that I'm doing, definitely hit that subscribe button down below and give it a thumbs up. I will leave a lot of the stuff down below and the links for you all to check out if you're interested on purchasing it for yourself for either your Dakota or your Durango. I've got the turbos installed. This is exactly the way I want them to sit, but we have an issue when it comes to the radiator. At least for now, until later on in the future when I decide to get a smaller radiator. So, you can see that I have the pump on. There is a slight modification that I need to do with the 2 bolts on the bottom, but it is the perfect fit. The pulley does fit perfectly, if you guys can see. Spins freely, there's no issues, no scraping, but I love how, I really do love how these turbos are sitting the way they are, you know, facing each other. But, like I said, due to the clearance of the radiator, we're going to have to flip them around. Now, I've already taken the time and clocked the turbos on the hot side so that they're the return feed or return line can go back into the oil pan, and then you see the feed lines up here. I did it with both. I have not clocked the cold side of the turbines yet, because what I'm going to do is we're going to have to do a little bit of cutting. So this turbo is going to end up going over here, and this turbo is going to end up going over here. And what I'm going to have to do is cut a section of the frame right here on both sides, which is not a problem. And then somehow, hopefully this won't rattle too much. But yeah, we'll cut a section of this side here, and we'll cut a section of this side over here, and then we should be able to run everything. Once I get that situated, if you can take a look, if you can see, I just mocked up for the time being. I took a couple of zip ties, and this is exactly where I want the intercooler to sit. It's going to sit right in front of the radiator, but it's going to be perfect, just enough space for the radiator to sit, and I'll be able to shut the hood, and we'll do some modifications to the grill. We still have to paint that black as well. But if you can see, I've got one of the pipings already on, the silicone piping, and what I'm thinking about doing is once we get this turbo on this side, we'll clock the cold side up just enough and just attach it straight to the intercooler. That seems like the best way possible so far. So, but yeah, I already took the passenger side turbo off and put it on this side. I've already clocked both turbos, like I said previously, so this is exactly how we're going to have both turbos sit. This is going to sit just like this, and then the opposite side is going to sit the same way and take the cold side out. I've already also, where I've mounted intercooler, here's the piping. It's not in place, like I said, it's just mocked up for right now, but it is connected to the turbo. And I think what I'm going to have to do is right around this section here, we're probably going to end up cutting a hole and then welding the blow-off valve to this section of the pipe here. And then same goes for the passenger side as well. Once I get the turbos connected, and then we can rough out piping and then figure out a cool idea for the hat on top of the intake manifold. But another thing is these turbo exhaust manifolds that I have, well, they don't have any place to put any kind of wastegate. So what I'm going to do is I'm thinking of cutting right up top here and welding, somehow welding a piece to put my wastegates up here, because we're going to have the blow-off valves over here on the intake pipes. And the reason why I'm doing that is because you can see the distance from the engine to the intake between the turbos. So there's going to be a lot of built-up pressure right here into the turbos. So I need enough air to be released. So to wastegates plus the blow-off valves should be enough to, for all that back pressure to be released. So, yeah. Okay, so what I did, instead of actually cutting the actual piece completely out, I started thinking about debris and rocks and all that other junk bouncing up and hitting the turbos. So what I did was, you can see I mean, paint's still drying, but I cut just enough on both sides and then bent the plate back. So you can see that's how it's going to look. So it'll protect it somewhat from any debris and large rocks. Obviously we're going to have tiny little pebbles, but at least it'll take care of some of the larger stuff, and the fender's still nice and sturdy. So it does not look that bad from the back. So if you guys can see, hopefully you guys can see the lighting back there. It looks almost like a plate, like a shield, like it was meant to be there for the turbo. So I might have to grind just a little bit off that corner there because we might have a little bit of vibration, but it doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere. It doesn't look like it's going to vibrate anywhere. So you see how low that sits? Do you see any problems with that? Okay, so there's that. And look how high that turbo sits. Now, another dilemma that we have is that this turbo is hitting the actual frame of the truck. So, which is a big problem because it's making that an issue. So, what I am going to have to do is fabricate 2 flange pieces and a pipe, do cutting and stuff, and try to get it to where it raises and sits evenly matched with the other side, on the driver's side. So, but yeah. So there's a lot of work that goes into something like this. I know there's a kit that they make for this, but like I said, this is my own Frankenstein. So what you see right now is I basically removed the turbos for the time being because both turbos left overnight. I noticed they were getting surface rust on the hot side of the turbines. So I've got them, I washed them all off and everything like that with a little bit of WD-40, basically wiping them off. I didn't spray it exactly on the turbos, but welding is not going to be a problem anymore either. So we are going to, I'm going to have a brand new gasless welder coming in this week to the channel. So we are going to be doing some amateur shitty welding for the time being, so we can get good at what welding's all about. But if you notice, I got a couple X's on both sides of the exhaust because that's the spots that I'm going to be cutting, and we are going to be welding the port for the wastegates. So, but another thing is, if you see how I have this hat sitting up top, and this is a 4-inch hat that's sitting up top here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'll probably end up utilizing this in some way, or get a 4-inch to 3-inch coupler, and then run 3-inch pipe straight from, I have a splitter as well, to run to the intercooler and turbo to run to the intake manifold. So we are going to wait for that welder to come in, and we are going to be waiting for not only just the flange piece that I forgot to mention, I also have a alternator bracket so that we can move it in a different place. Yeah, in next video we are definitely going to be cutting, welding the wastegates and blow-off valves, installing the exhausts back on. Then we will be custom fabricating the flange for the passenger side turbo so that it will sit and mount correctly. We'll get all that welded up and nice and shaped. Get everything all piped up and start working on everything else, and then we will start removing the bottom axle and drive shaft, all that other nonsense, so I can get to the oil pan and remove all the old gaskets and get the return line put in place so that we can start getting this car up and rolling. So I'm looking forward to getting that welder in, and I'm looking forward to getting the other parts in and learning how to weld with you all. So if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing, please, and definitely give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and definitely hit that bell notification for when I do pop up for another video. So, but I promise you, next video we will have hopefully everything assembled for us to start going ahead and getting the oil pan off and the truck tuned and started. Alright? See you guys later.